everyone? All right, well, here we are Monday morning, and day trades were hot this morning. Veru stocks up 200%, and I totally underestimated it. It was the fourth leading gapper this morning, up 37%. It's a 64 million share float. It's got almost 200 million shares of volume right now. I'm up just under $14,000 on it. That's a solid morning. I'm impressed. Now I've got a stock I'm red on, so I'm finishing the day at $10,000, and I'm happy with that. I went red, got back to green, gave back some profit, then back up to the high a day, and that's my cue to exit. So calling it a day there. I want to remind you, as always, that trading is risky. My results are not typical, and most beginner traders lose money. So I encourage you to trade in a simulator before you put real money on the line, and don't try to blindly follow me or anyone else. During this recap, I'm gonna break down the trades on Veru, I'm gonna break down the trades on the other two stocks I traded, and at the end of the recap, I'm gonna show you some live trades on Veru today, and you're gonna see why I stopped trading it where I stopped. So I traded this one from my first entry at $8 up to 12, and I didn't trade it above 12, and I didn't trade it below 8. So I kind of traded that window. But remember, one of the things I always say is that if you have a stock that goes up, however much it goes up, you're never gonna capture the whole move. You'll capture a piece of the move. But if a stock is going up 200%, a small piece of 200% is a much bigger move than a small piece of 2% or 3%, which is, more typical of how stocks move on any given day. So looking for those big momentum stocks. Now in this case, although Veru was on one of the scans this morning, I sort of disregarded it because it was below the 200 moving average. I didn't think much of it. I underestimated it. And then once it started to open up and really pull away, that's when I said, you know what? I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna take some trades. And how did I find it at that point? On my high day momentum scanner right there. So as it was squeezing up, I saw it, I couldn't miss it. And I said, all right, finally, I'm gonna jump in because this thing is moving, and there's an opportunity here on a pullback. So I traded it, I did okay on it. We'll break it down during the recap. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'm doing the morning show, right? So I'm going live right around 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. So hit the subscribe button. That way you get the notification when I go live. You can join us for the morning show. And I hope you enjoyed the video. You can hit the thumbs up too if you do. And I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning for the morning show. All right, enjoy the recap. All right, everyone, so we'll go over the trades from this morning. A surprising Monday morning, completely underestimated what ended up being our biggest momentum stock today, Veru. V-E-R-U, currently up 155%, hit a high of 1221. And, it really is, it's only 11:30, it's still fairly early, but I don't want to overstay my welcome. My last couple trades, I'll end this recap by showing you the live last two trades on Veru. So I'll do that in a second. But let's go back to the beginning of the day. So today started, as always, Monday morning, sitting down, looking at the gap scanners and looking to see if there was something that was moving. Our gap scanner had Hoth, H-O-T-H, as a leading gapper, up 140%, 23 million share float, and I really wasn't that interested in it. You had this big move on it early, then consolidation, and then it started to break out, but this move was on lighter volume and wasn't as big of a breakout, and I just felt like, you know what, I don't think it's going to do a lot. I'm just going to leave it alone, and I did. I left it alone. I didn't trade it at all. So that ended up maybe costing me a little bit on this green candle, but then as the day's gone on, it's just pulled back. So that's Hoth. The second leading gapper this morning was GNCA, up 43%, 48 million share float, a cheaper stock, left that alone. Then we had IVDA, and you'll see I'm up $600 on that. That was my first trade of the day, and I bought this break of volume weighted average price right here. It went up to a high of 25. There was a hidden seller on ARCA at 25. It then broke through that level and went only to 31. And I sort of thought that was a problem, that it didn't rip higher after breaking through that hidden seller. So I got out, and I was in at 19, I think it was. So not a big winner, but $600 is fine. At the open, it came up a little bit more, and then it kind of dropped hard. And now you have this inverted head and shoulders. So sort of these two big candles, a red one here and then the green one here, back up to its double top of 360. So, maybe you could look at it over 360. I think the reason it's probably up as much as it is right now is because of this big move on Veru, which was our fourth leading gapper, and which I completely underestimated and thought that I had no interest in it. I was like, nope, don't like it, don't care about it. Why? It was under the 200 moving average, which was at $7. The float was 64 million shares, and typically these ones don't make big moves. Typically that float is not where I'm going to see my biggest winner of the day, although that is the case today. So this one is a bit of an anomaly that it went up as much as it did, despite the float being higher. But it did, and we'll talk about that in a second. But my second trade of the day was WBD. All right, so Warner Brothers Discovery IPO. And this one I jumped into this morning at about 25.70. So my entry, it squeezes up right here, and I was like, okay, I see that. So I got in right here. I got in, and not a second later, it drops $1 a share to 24.80. Now I could have added an average down on it right there. I didn't. I was like, you know what? I'm only in with 3,000 shares. Let's just let this, if it has to be a $3,000 loss, it's a $3,000 loss. Let's not make it worse. The best trades, they work right away, and the worst trades do this. So let's not make it an even worse trade. It comes back up to 25.60. I didn't sell, I held, and I finally sold, I kid you not, right here. My exit, let me see, let me time this. So my exit on that trade was at 940, and so this candle was at 940 right here. It was actually at 940 and 20 seconds. So 940 and 20 seconds was literally right there. I literally stopped out right there. Why? Well, I stopped at 24.85 because I thought this was a little flat bottom, and I was like, if it breaks this and goes through the low, this thing might flush down, and I don't want to get caught in that flush. I should just let it go. So I let it go. And as soon as I stopped out, it pops right back up to 25, whatever. Then it goes up to 25.50, and then it goes up to 25.79, and then it goes up to 26.20. And, it only cost me $3,600. It's not the end of the world. And I had the discipline not to FOMO back into it. I was just like, you know what? That was lame. Definitely a little bit of a trigger there. And what I've done in other instances is FOMO'd back along, and then it drops a second time, and then you're livid. And I didn't want this to go from a $3,000 red day to 6,000 to 9,000 to 12,000. So I just said, you know what? If this was the one, it would have gone right away. It's not the one. Focus on something else. So I totally put this one off my radar. I said, that's it. I'm not looking at it again. And that was at 9:40. I didn't take another trade until 10:53, and that was on Veru. So I didn't trade this until 10:53, which was as it broke $8 right there. I didn't trade, as it came up to $7. And this is kind of funny. It comes up to $7. What's this SJ? Let's take a look. SJ hitting the scanners. Don't know if there's news on it. I don't see anything populating yet. I'm just going to leave it alone for now. Veru climbing back up again. High was 1221. Again, though, you've got this red candle. You just have to be really careful. Probably the smart decision is to size down on it, so you don't give back a ton of profit if you kind of screw it up here. So on Veru, I'm just going to mute my alerts here. So as it started squeezing up, we'll look at the 1 minute chart. So as it started squeezing up here in this area, I saw it right here, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's under the 200 moving average, Remember, the 200's around $7. So I don't really want to buy it at 650. I don't really think it's going to do that much. And then in this candle, this is where it kind of, to me, started. It goes from 670 up to 7. And I was like, God dang it. You know, sure enough, the one that goes is the one that I've been like really pretty bearish on all day long. And I'm sitting here down, you know, $3,000. I see it rip up to 7. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should short this off of 7. And it is easy to borrow. So I got my order ready for 5,000 shares at 695. And I was like, I could start at 695 and then add at 710. I sort of had the order ready in my main account because, of course, my retirement account, I can't go short. So I had the order ready in my main account, and I was like, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. You know, how much am I even going to really make on this? So I just left it alone. I looked away, focused on something else. And I look over, it's at 710. I was like, yeah, whatever. Topping tail, that's a short, whatever. And then I look back, I look over, doing some other stuff. And then I look back and it's at 745. And I was like, wow, man, this thing is really going. And by the way, it's halting up. It's at the halt up level right now at 1288. So 172 million shares of volume. So halted up there. All right. So, you know, again, you could have done a little long at 1250. I could still be trading it. I don't know, whatever. So anyways, let's go over these trades here. So it goes up to 748, it pulls back a little bit, then it comes right back up, 748 to 750, 770, and then comes right back up here. But again, you can see how it's a little choppy. And so as it broke this level here, I said, you know what? If it breaks through 8, I'm gonna take a starter. And it broke through 8, and that's where I took my first trade. All right, so my entry is at $8, my stop is $7.90. So I'm risking 10 cents on my first trade, and it goes up to about $8.40, $8.50, hits a high of $8.98. So right in there, got green on the day, and then we got a little pullback here. I added, of course, for the break of 750. I added in this area for the break of 9. We hit a high of 910. Then we go up to 958. We pull back. Now we've got some topping tails there up around 950. And look at this. This thing comes back up. Yeah, I agree. It is a little loud. Comes back up and it rips through 950, goes up to 10. Pulls back, some topping tails up to 11. Halt. Squeezes up to 12, pulls back, and right in here on this candle, I got long. I stopped out right here. I added back on this candle, sold as we went up to 1221, and that I think was my last trade. So I said I would show you my last trade. So let's look at that last trade. All right, let's see. So this was my last trade on Veru. So it was halted up, and let's see. So I did a couple of dip trades first. So let's look at this first. Now these are a little tricky, but so this trade was a dip off the 20 moving average on the 10 second, added at 88, instant execution, looking for the pop through 11, take the profit off 1102. That's 13 cents on 1,500 shares. It's 150 bucks, whatever, 170 bucks. Added back at 1106. Then look at that big seller, 200,000 share seller at 11. I hit the bid. I was like, no, that's no good. Hit the bid, got out, and then added back at 70. Comes back up to 75, 78. There's 80, sold half, taking a little profit off the table. Not really a big trade on that, whatever. Then we're gonna watch it come back up again. Hang on, I just want to check Veru. So Veru halt was at 12. 1288 and resumption is showing 1325 right now. However, what happened on the last resumption? What happened on the last resumption on this was this topping tail, where it squeezed up to 12 and then dropped back down. So right there, you've got 1288, and resumption is in 1 minute. So we'll see what it does. I'm interested to see. And then I'll show you the rest of the trade that I took before. All right, so Veru. Where you going, bud? All right, so resumption here in 10 seconds. So let's watch resumption. Showing 1325, 1337. There's 1350. There's a bit of a sell wall there at 1350. Quick watch there. That's a quick opportunity over 1350. Then profit would be 1367. Your high of this candle is 1372. But look at that drop. Boy, so risky, right? So now the question is, do you have that sell off? Does it base out and then does it curl back up like it did before? I don't know. That's in 10 seconds in one candle, just straight down. So your high is 1372. It's hard to manage risk though when it's moving that much. Look at that, back to 1375. That's like a heart attack. I mean, if you were long and caught that full drop and then, whoa, back up, okay, you're out. Or did you add back? Now are you looking for the break of 90? And then all of a sudden it's like, uh-oh, I'm about to get squeezed or smoked on this thing if it drops. So you've got just a very extended stock. Volume is lighter on this candle right now. Right now the candle's red, but we'll see how it finishes. So 1391 is your high. It's up 212%. But you could see even how the level 2 is jumping around. You know, it's 93 on the ask, 94, then 83, 80, 79, 73, 75. So it just made a new high and then came right back down. Now back to 60. So you're getting those flushes. And those, you know, those are hard. And they really are. They're difficult. So now, you know, it looks right here like it could break back through 14 over 97, you know, but could be wrong. And you could get that break and then a quick flush, a 5-cent break and then a 50-cent flush. So let me show you my last trade and then you'll see why I'm a little hesitant to take any more trades on it. So on my last trade here, which was down around 1092. So I was kind of watching first candle to make a new high and I added 1,500 shares right there at 90. And look at that, instant 40 cents as it broke through 11. That's first 1 minute candle making a new high and performing well. Took the profit off at 31.5. And I was like, that was a pretty good trade. Now I'm thinking over 35 and 45. Are we going to get that curl back to the high? So now I added back there, took a little profit off. You can see how fast those trades are. Adding at 21, profit at 41.42. By the way, for those that are watching this recap later, you may be able to see the scalp trading class, which should be uploaded. By the time this gets uploaded, that class will be live, so you could check that out if you haven't already. I'll put a link to it at the end of this video. So then I added back there 6,000 shares at 46 for the breakthrough 1150, right? 2 hotkeys, pressed it twice, so I'm in right there. Now I took half off at 57 and another half off. Now I'm holding 1,600 shares at 46 and basically getting out of the rest kind of like flat. All right, so the high of that candle was 1163. Moving the order, added back at 67. Now I'm starting to think 75.85 for the squeeze through 12, right? So we've got 67. I'm in at 67 and starting to hesitate. There's 75. Now I've got 4,500 shares. But we're seeing some red on the tape. And now I'm down 1,400 bucks, 1,500 bucks. So now I'm in a little too high. You know, my average is 71. So now I'm averaging down at 37. Average is 58. Brought my average down. But usually when I average down, I don't want to let it go too much lower. Now it's at 28. I added at 37. Now it's at 16.11. Added more at 23. Now I've got 10,000 shares at 11.48, right? This is averaging down. So I'm down 3,000 bucks on it. And I'm thinking, all right, I don't want to hold this below 11. And if I stop at 11, I'm going to lose 10,000 shares, 4,800 bucks. So I put some profit target orders out, and then I'm like, nah, that's not going to work. Just in case it kind of pops up, but no. Get me out break even. A little bid stack there. And so I end up cutting the loss here. I add one more time, and then I cut the loss at 11.12. I'm like, you know, it's really extended on the 5-minute chart. So, you know, I took like a $4,000 loss on that trade. But then right here, I notice bid stack at 11.02. And I added back 6,000 shares at 11.06. I say, you know what? Let's see. And watch this. Added at 25 or 27. Added right there at 43. Comes back up to 48. And I'm like, you know what? Take it off the table. It's 50 cents, just about. So made back the trade. And then on this trade here, added 9,000 shares there for the breakthrough 12. And just kind of barely got the profit before it started to stall out. And this is where I say, you know what? Let's start to size down. This is getting a little too risky, and I just made back the $4,000 I lost. I don't want to do that again. So I went from up 10,000 on the day, lost $4,000, so I was up only 6,000, and then made back that $4,000 and got myself back to up 10,000 on the day. You know, and so I didn't trade this last piece of the move. And you could see how you could have traded it and you could have made money. Or you could have traded it and you could have lost money. I mean, you know, heck, I lost money. I lost 4,000 bucks right in there. And then I made it back and I said, you know what? I don't want to overstay my welcome. So I'm grateful that I'm green. I didn't trade this the best that I possibly could have, but I got green. Those watching this recap on YouTube, what I think you should do is check out, let's see. So I'm going to put right up here in the corner, I'm going to put a link to the scalp trading class that I'm teaching today at 1 o'clock. This recap isn't going to go live until later tonight, so check out that scalp trading class right there if you want to learn more about those quick entries and quick exits. And I hope you're subscribed to the channel. I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning for the morning show. Remember, as always, trading is risky. My results are not typical, so take it slow and don't try to blindly follow me or anyone else. Practice in a simulator. I hope you really enjoyed that video, and make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Our goal is to hit 1 million subscribers this year, but we won't get there without your help. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button.